Brace yourself. You're about to enter the SKOLHole, where we talk anything and everything Minnesota Vikings. Don't forget to bring a change of clothes. It might get dirty. Here are your hosts, Draft Season's own Onebar and Lux.
All right, everybody, it is officially Draft Day Eve, and where else would you rather be than hanging out at SKOLHole?
Yeah, Draft Day Eve. I hope you got the stockings hung, and man, I wish I was.
Oh, you're not that bad. I've seen it.
Wow, thank you. The draft is literally 24 hours away.
Oh, my God.
A little bit more than that.
I better have a drink of beer.
Yeah, I'm going to have one, too. This is a SKOLHole sip.
Oh, that was a good one.
Time has come. You know, we've been kind of going nuts for the draft since about middle of January, and now all that waiting has paid off. We've made it. We are here. It's time.
It's time. It's time.
So I'm going to hold you up like baby Simba on the edge of Pride Rock and...
All right, so let's...
Well, before we get in the draft, there is some Viking news today. Brian Robinson, the great defensive end, signed a one-day contract to retire as a Viking. And very emotional video. I know you watched it. I could hear you weeping back there.
I watched it at work, and I cried.
That was very sad.
I wish I wouldn't have, but I did. I love him.
That was awesome. And one thing I do want to tie this into the draft, and pretty much ever since we picked Robinson, it's kind of, I used to always get high on guys I love, and I still do, but I kind of scale back a little bit on the ones I don't like, because that 2007 draft, and we touched on a couple weeks ago, that was one where I thought we nailed every single pick. The one pick I was not high on was Brian Robinson, and man, I couldn't have been more wrong. He's probably the second best player to come out of that group.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that got drafted, and you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about him, but I didn't really want much to do with him. But man, he was a hell of a player.
SKOLHole clap for Brian Robinson.
You know what? More than just that, I think he's gonna get a SKOLHole sip from me.
You're right. I'm gonna drop my drawers and have a sip here.
All right.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the video, go check it out. It's awesome.
Fantastic.
But let's get into the big talk. Let's talk draft. Let's as always, Draft Day Eve comes with some Draft Day Eve rumors, and there's plenty of them.
Oh yeah, they're flying hot and heavy already. This one is actually, I'm gonna start with it. It was more a couple days ago. I haven't heard much about it since, but there was some steam picking up that the Cardinals were actually going to pass on Kyler Murray, and that they seem to be quite smitten with Quentin Williams
and Nick Bosa.
Yeah,
I saw both. So the big part of it is it true that the rumors would actually pass on Murray after all this talk?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a lock just a week ago. I always wonder if they're trying to get a team to move up or to offer something, try to get some last minute trade before they take Murray, or maybe they're not. Maybe they send some feelers out there to see what teams would give up for Rosen and didn't like what they hear.
Yeah, I call full blown bullshit on this one. Murray's going to be the pick. I think Rosen is traded sometime this weekend. Dolphins have been a hot name, so I'm calling bullshit. I think Murray's the pick. I think it's done deal.
Yeah, and I don't think they get much for Rose. I mean, maybe a second rounder. They're not getting no damn first. No way.
Other talk, quarterbacks. Washington has been pretty hot as far as trading up into that somewhere in the number 5 range to get one of those quarterbacks. Thoughts?
Yeah, this one's really been getting hot, and I saw something too that they're saying the owner Daniel Snyder is kind of going to take over the draft room the way he did when they moved up to get Robert Griffin. So I think this one has some teeth. I think this one probably is true, and I expect Washington to move up in the top 5 to get a quarterback. I heard Haskins. I know you heard Daniel Jones. Whoever it is, I think they're moving up.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, they gave up the farm to get Mr. Robert Griffin.
You got one good year from him?
Yeah.
I have.
So I wouldn't put it past them. I'm going to buy into this one. I maybe not the top 5, but I say top 10, and they end up getting one of those guys, either Haskins, Daniel Jones, somebody. But I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to find one at 15, so they're going to have to. The other one I've been hearing lately is the Lions moving back a couple spots to get a quarterback. To me, this one, which gives this one a little bit of teeth for me, is the fact that both their primary targets, Montez Sweat and Rashawn Gary, have both gotten some medical flags here. Gary with his shoulder, Sweat with his heart. So, they may realize that, hey, these guys got some serious concerns, and maybe we're better off just moving around and trying to get one of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm not really buying into that one, mostly because, Detroit has a couple of solid backup quarterbacks. They got Connor Cook and Tom Savage.
Yeah, what the hell?
Turds.
How many beers did you have before we started?
Stafford still got plenty in the tank. I can't see them taking a quarterback. Man, that would be like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
It would be a shitty thing to do with what Stafford's going through with his wife right now. You're gonna bring in his replacement. That would just
that's
that
probably
would just be shit on top of everything.
That's irrelevant. But
I just think it's a bad.
this is a business here. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, probably not. You got any other rumors you've been hearing?
I heard one rumor that when you were a sophomore in high school, you put 3 hard-boiled eggs up your ass and did 10 jumping jacks without one of them falling out.
That wasn't me. That was Silas.
Oh, all right. Well, it's been confirmed.
I was there.
I'm sure between now and tomorrow at 7 o'clock, we will hear about 3,000 more rumors, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see which ones come true and which don't. It's the best part about the draft.
I hope they're all over Twitter all day tomorrow.
Yes.
Make my work day go fast.
All right, let's every year, guys fall, guys go way before they should, and there's just the total mystery of the draft. Let's try to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah,
this
let's
year.
start with the surprise pick. There was a couple last year that were really no one saw coming. Rashad Penny going early 20s to the Seahawks, and then I thought the Steelers made a mistake when they drafted Terrell Edmonds when his brother already went. I thought they just put the wrong name on the card. I didn't even know he had a brother.
Did he got drafted?
There was teams that even had that guy as a draftable player, and they took him in round 1.
Had to have him.
So,
and it's gonna, you know what? It's going to happen again this year, and I can't wait.
All right, who's your guy? Give me a guy.
Well, again, this is kind of a panty dropper, like holy shit pick. I mean, you can't just play it safe. So, Chase Winovich, linebacker, Michigan, round 1.
Wow.
I think he goes. This isn't. I'm predicting he's going in round 1. This is the guy that I think that would be that type of pick. And it could be like the Patriots or somebody like that who ends up taking him. And that's my boy. I don't even like him that much, but I think he has a chance to be that surprise pick.
Sounds like you love him.
Yeah.
Mine is a guy. He's had a lot of visits. I think he started this draft process maybe as a 3rd, 4th round guy, and he probably goes in 2nd. But maybe he sneaks into the ass end of the 1st round. I'm going tight end Jace Sternberger. Like I said, this guy's he just had a ton of teams are interested in this guy. Especially if the first couple go early. If Hawkinson goes in the top 10 and then Fant soon after, maybe Irv Smith gets pushed up, and then maybe Sternberger gets considered by like a team like the Patriots, who definitely are looking for a replacement for Rob Gronkowski. So
look, man,
I'm going with this guy.
That better not happen because I want the Vikings to take him in round 3 so damn bad.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
If they took him in round 2, I would be that
I was
upset.
just going to say the same thing. Absolutely same thing. All right, so give me your riser. Let's see your faller. Not your father. I've seen him. Your faller.
My fowler. My faller, again, total shot in the dark, but I'm going Hakeem Butler. Lot of receivers that could end up going. We always see receivers that go a lot sooner than they should, or some guy that had in round 3 and also he's a round 1 pick just out of nowhere. Hakeem Butler's my guy, and it's just because he's so damn raw. And there's other guys that are just a lot more polished than him. Will he go in round 1? Probably, but he could be a guy that falls.
Wow, I don't see that at all. Mine is going to be Montez Sweat. This guy has the same heart issue that caused Maurice Hurst to fall like 3 rounds last year. So I still think he probably goes round 1. I don't think he is a top 10 pick now. It's just teams get scared off. And obviously you put all this money and time into a guy, you don't want him to have a bad issue, especially with his ticker. So I think Montez Sweat is a guy who is going to have a long, long day tomorrow.
So you still think he's going to go in round 1?
Yeah,
boy, that's quite the bold prediction you got there.
From top 10 to end of round 1
happens all the time.
It is.
Nah. All right, what else we got?
It's just because he's such a freakishly good athlete with size and speed you never see. All right, let's talk about some late crushes. We all have late crushes. I know I had a couple in 4th grade. Broke my heart.
None of my crushes ever talk to me. They still don't.
Did you ever call them and ask them weird questions?
I did, and it wasn't. Anyways, let's go to late crushes. And some of these guys are going to ring a bell because I love them. I love them a lot, and I'm going to start it off.
Go ahead.
You might have heard of this safety from Wyoming named Andrew Wingard.
Yeah, and I watched what you sent me on him, and I wasn't super impressed.
He's not. I'm not talking. He's a top.
He looks going to be slow, and he had long. Look like Clay Matthews out there running around.
He's a round 7 guy. He's a guy on special teams that could make a big play, get the team pumped up, hair flowing around, waving his arms. Let's do this shit. Andrew Wingard. Bring him on.
what surprised me most about his film was how hard that guy was getting hit when he intercepted a pass. I mean, he was getting killed.
He was also laying big hits himself. Give him a little bit. He looked good.
He looked weird. We talked about this guy a little bit a couple podcasts ago. Gerald Willis, D tackle Miami. I like this guy. He's boomer bust. You know, he might give you nothing on a couple plays, but then he might be back there making a huge sack. I think you put him on this defensive line. I think you get his quirks worked out, be a more consistent player, and this guy could develop into a consistent contributor on the Vikings D line. Gerald Willis, I'm certain to love you.
Yeah, I still don't trust him. He's got too many demons in his past, and I hope the Vikings kind of steer clear for him.
They're not that bad.
No, they really are.
They're not.
Look them up.
They're not. I did.
I'm going Ben Powers. I've really taken a liking to him lately. Another round 5 to 7 guy. He can go anywhere. He's the reason I really like him is he can add depth right away. He's not going to push for a starting job by any means, but if he had to get thrown in there, I think he'd do a decent job. But I just love the thought of quality depth in the mid rounds.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You said Ben Powers, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Anytime this team is going to load up on a guard in the middle rounds, I'm for it. You obviously can't argue with that. I got a guy here, just kind of got on my radar not that long ago. Big hitting safety. Marquise Blair. This guy's like 6'3", and he absolutely tears people's heads off. In fact, he probably gets too many flags because he's so aggressive. But, we once had a very aggressive safety in the Viking secondary by the name of Greg Blue, and we all know how he panned out. So
like shit.
Yeah, no, it's
horrible.
I have a lot more high hopes for Marquise Blair, but if you're going to look at a safety like in round 4, this guy would definitely be somebody I think would be a nice fit on this defense and add some, add some nastiness, some meanness, some toughness, some physicality.
All right, I'm going to stay on the defense side of the ball with you. I'm going Sutton Smith, Northern Illinois. I'm not going to say he's a late crush. He's been a all-time crush.
You have a Sutton Smith tramp stamp.
He is no doubt a sack master. Obviously the big question with him is where does he fit in the NFL? He's pretty small for a defensive end. He's an outside linebacker, but what he's done at Northern Illinois has been fantastic, and I think Zimmer could have a little bit of fun with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Sutton Smith. The guy's just got a motor, does not quit. He's quick, he's fast. He's not the biggest guy, but he could be a fun little weapon for Mike Zimmer, like you said. I'm all on S squared, as I call him. He calls me Lups cubed.
Nope.
Okay. I got one more guy here, and I don't like a lot of corners this year, but this guy I do like. He's a converted wide receiver from Houston, Isaiah Johnson. Good size. This guy is still super, super raw, but, man, he's starting to figure out the corner position. I think he's got a high ceiling. You land this guy, I don't know where he's going to go, around 4 to 6 somewhere, but if he fell to like round 6, I think that could potentially be a huge steal. He's got good size, speed. He can tackle. I really love Isaiah Johnson.
All right, I'll throw one more out there before we wrap it up. I'm going.
Have you ever wrapped it up before?
No, I don't even know what that means. Anyone who's seen Last Chance U, they're going to remember this name, Dakota Allen, Texas Tech linebacker. He went from Texas Tech to JUCO and back to Texas Tech. But the thing is, every time he's been there, even when he was a youngster at Texas Tech the first time, that guy just produces. Again, he's a guy, man, I've seen him all over the place. I've seen him as early as round 4. I've seen him all the way undrafted. But he could be a special teamer. But, again, he adds quality depth at the linebacker. And I just, watching Last Chance U, it's actually kind of fantastic to watch. So,
I just realized all of our late crushes are they're kind of mid-round guys.
Yeah.
We don't have any late first-round crushes.
Usually my crushes are late-round guys. It's hard to get it. I mean, obviously we got the crushes with Dalton Reisner. And we got, I think we would all love Lindstrom. We got those guys, but late crushes seem to always be the later round guys.
One late crush of mine we did take was Pat Elflein. I was late on Pat Elflein.
Yeah, but he was round 3.
I know, but I didn't get on him like 2 weeks before the draft that year.
Yeah.
And then I loved him.
Yeah.
And we took him. I was happy.
I'm gonna guarantee that we get one of these crushes we just mentioned.
Well, let's hope it's Marquise Blair.
Oh my God.
All right, so we're gonna play a game we played last year. Maybe some of you real dedicated SKOLHolers remember this. It's called Who'd You Do? So I'm gonna ask Onebar a series of 2 guys, and he's gonna pick who he'd rather have. Now these aren't always gonna be the same position. It might be the same round. It might be 2 of the best options on the board at the same time. It might pit 2 of our, of our late crushes against each other. So,
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So
Okay, let me just get some clarification here.
Yeah.
Is this what would I do as far as I'm the Vikings front office or just draft in general? Who do I like better?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Both.
Okay.
The same.
So I'm pretending I'm picking for the Vikings here.
Yeah. Pick for the Vikings here.
Okay. That's what
All
I'm
right.
asking.
First one. All right. So something to make a little preface for before I shoot them at you. So first one, a couple of receivers. I have them both in round one, so I think I know which way you're going after this one. But Hakeem Butler versus DK Metcalf. Who would you do?
I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you in my earlier statement. I'd rather have Hakeem Butler. I think DK Metcalf. I think he's boomer bust, but I'm leaning more towards bust lately. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care what his body fat percentage is.
It's the same as mine.
Hakeem Butler's got more tools, and I'm going Hakeem Butler.
Yeah, Metcalf does worry me. I love
Scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, he does scream bust. But man, if he pans out, oof.
Oh, he's a monster. I'm not doubting that. That's what your monster sounds like? Mine sounds like...
Oh, that's different. That's the worst kind of monster.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, who you got next?
All right, TJ Hawkinson versus Noah Fant. Who would you do?
Oh, God. I would absolutely do T.J. Hawkinson. I love Noah Fant, but Hawkinson's blocking ability, that does not come along very often. I mean, we're talking Rob Gronkowski here.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. And I also love Fant. So, all right, here we go. This one is like the battle of best case scenario for the Vikings. Defensive tackle Ed Oliver versus Jonah Williams.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Who would you do? And Doggy.
I think I'd have to do Ed Oliver. You got to go best player available. You can't go need. Ed. There's no way he's going to be there. Really, probably there's no way either of them be there, but you got to go Ed Oliver. He's a monster that does not come along very often.
You know what? I think I agree with that, but man,
I hate saying it.
I'm glad I didn't have to answer that one.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was. All right, this is a battle of worst case scenario at 18.
Oh God.
Yeah. Cornerback Greedy Williams.
Oh shit.
Versus safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Fuck. Well, after punching myself in the crotch repeatedly,
Yes.
I would go with Greedy Williams because I really like Anthony Harris, and Trey Waynes is gone next year. I know we got Hughes, but yeah, I think we're good at safety.
Yeah, I agree. I'd definitely go Greedy too.
Damn, that was disgusting. I hated that.
I'm sorry. All right, this one I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about
Andrew
this.
Wingard.
Dalton Reisner versus Chris Lindstrom.
Oh my God.
Versus Chris Bright.
Boy, I think I love them both. I'm going Dalton Reisner. He can play tackle if we absolutely need it. He's definitely going to be a guard, but if we needed a pinch, Reisner, and he's got my heart.
He has all of our hearts.
Yeah,
I'm going to give him a skull
that was a
sip
tough
right
one.
now.
Yeah, me too.
All right, here we go. A couple of maybe third-round running backs. David Montgomery versus Damian Harris. Who would you do?
Damian Harris, done.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quick.
Yeah.
All right, who'd you do? J.J. Arcega-Whiteside or Kelvin Harmon?
Shit. I'd go Harmon just because when I'm so excited and cheering, I don't want to say that full name.
Gotcha. A couple of D tackles. Draymond Jones versus Jerry Tillery.
Draymond Jones. He is I don't know if you've seen that guy. He is he's not nice. He's very angry. And he would be a starter. He would start over Shamar Stephen.
All right, and we got Zach Allen, defensive end from Boston College versus Jaylon Ferguson.
Ooh, Ferguson.
Really?
Allen seems to be. No one really seems to know where they're going to play that guy. I've seen him at D tackle. I've seen him defensive end.
Have you watched him play?
Linebacker.
I just giggle when I watch him out there.
Jerry Tillery just. I don't know.
Jerry Tillery wasn't in this one.
Oh, who was it?
Zach Allen versus Jaylon Ferguson. Quit thinking with Jerry Tillery.
Jerry Tillery's always on my brain. I'm still sticking. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sticking to my guns.
Okay. All right. This is a late round battle. Trey Pipkins versus Martez Ivey. A couple of late O-tackle options. Who would you do?
Why am I always thinking of Jerry Tillery?
I don't know. I'm starting to worry about this.
All right. Trey Pipkins and who?
Martez Ivey.
Ivy, just because he's got more upside. I think Pipkins, you know what you got. Ivy is going to be a real turd or just surprising. So I'm going to go on a limb and go with Ivy.
I don't think Ivy has any upside. I think he just is what he is.
You hate Ivy.
I just think he's just a backup right tackle. That's all I see in him.
I'll take that right now.
All right, this one might tear you apart. Who'd you do? Andrew Wingard or Jamal Peters?
Oh, wow. Damn. You might think this is tough, but it's not. Andrew Wingard. Every damn day.
Start calling you Matt Wingard.
He's coming home. But I do love Peters.
Yeah, that's a hell of a sound clip right there.
Love them. Love those things.
All right, last one. And this is the most important one. It really is. Who'd you do? Garrett Bradbury or Cody Ford?
Garrett Bradbury. The Cody Ford train has passed. I really don't think I don't think the Vikings would take him. I think Bradbury would be a slam dunk.
Yeah, Zimmer actually, it was Zimmer Spielman. What they said about Ford was not
oh, really?
basically what they said about Will Hernandez a year ago.
I think Cody Ford will have a fantastic career in Houston.
I think he will too.
One step.
All right, that was Who'd You Do?
Oh, that was fun. Thank you.
That was fun. That was tough. I think I tore you apart.
All right, so next, it is our yearly tradition to call one of our favorite listeners, Skinny, a.k.a. Skin Pie, a.k.a.
Beautiful, sexy man.
He is a beautiful, sexy man. So we're going to call him. We're going to get his Vikings prediction, and he's
never been wrong.
I don't know if he's ever been right.
That's correct. Connor Williams last year.
Yes, he called Connor Williams, but he said Elfline, but he said it in round 1.
That was how many years ago was
a
that?
couple of rounds off, but he got the guy right. We're going to call Skinny. We're going to get his prediction right now.
All right.
All right, we got Skin Pie on the line for his yearly prediction. Skinny, welcome to the SKOLHole.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
How does it feel to be inside the SKOLHole?
Oh, very erotic.
Oh, my God. All right, 18th pick overall. Who do you got the Vikings taking this year?
There's only one guy that we're going to take, and that's Dalton Reisner. He's a goddamn American hero.
Like Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Hey!
Pretty much. In his downtime, he's the cooler at the Double Deuce, and he bangs good-looking lady doctors.
Oh, my God.
Awesome.
Oh, my God, Skinny. That's very descriptive. Dalton Reisner.
He called it.
We're holding you to it. You heard it here. Skin Pie predicts Dalton Reisner.
He's never been wrong.
He has been wrong multiple times, but this year he's going to be right.
Yes.
Skinny, thanks for joining the SKOLHole.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, we're going to go fast here. We're going to walk through the first 17 picks and figure out who is going to be sitting there for the Vikings at 18, and we're going to make our final SKOLHole pick. All right, so obviously we both think Arizona Cardinals are taking Kyler Murray.
Yes, sir.
Then we got, Nick Bosa next on the Niners?
Yep.
The Jets are a little bit of a question mark. It could be Allen. It could be Oliver. It could be Quinn Williams.
I think we just play it safe and put Quinn Williams.
All right, so then Raiders, Oliver.
Oliver Allen, one of the two.
All right, and then whoever's there is going to go to the Bucs next. I think.
Sir.
All right, so then 6th, you got the Giants. Juwan Taylor.
Juwan Taylor sounds good.
7, Jacksonville.
Whoever's left between Juwan Taylor or Jonah Williams, I think.
All right, and then 8, we got the Lions, who now I think are kind of tricky with these health issues. But
I think they either go Hawkinson or Sweat. Still, I'm not.
Well, if Hawkinson's there, let's go Hawkinson then. And the Bills, what do you like for Bills?
I'm still, Montez Sweat.
All right.
Is Ed Oliver still there? One of those guys?
No, he went to the Bucs.
Sweat.
All right, so then we got 11. Or no, 10. We got Broncos. We still thinking Drew Lock, Haskins. Who you want?
Well, Devin White's still on the board. Doesn't seem that realistic. But Redskin, I don't know, or Broncos. It's your call. Devin Bush.
Well, Devin
White. Devin White.
All right, then we got the Bengals at 11.
I think they get the leftover between Bush or White.
All right, they're gonna have leftover Bush on their face.
My favorite.
Is it really?
That sounds like a Sunday morning.
All right, Green Bay then 12. They go Noah Fant. They're gonna go DK Metcalf. What you got?
No, I think it's more of like a. I don't know. I'm gonna throw this out there now. I think the Packers are gonna throw a wrinkle at 12, even if Hawkinson's there. I think they just get a little weird. I think it's going to be like a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman. Sorry. So you might want to make this pick because I'm getting a little too crazy.
I'm going Noah Fant.
All right. Noah Fant, Gonzo.
And the Dolphins, 13.
I think Christian Wilkinson's pretty much on the board here.
Christian Wilkins or Wilkinson?
Wilkins.
All right. 14, the Falcons. Are they going to take Rashawn Gary, you think?
Gary, Dillard.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they need some D-line help more. Let's go Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
All right, so then 15, we got the Redskins.
Quarterback.
We're probably going to trade up, but who's still there?
They got Haskins and Jones, so.
Haskins then. And then we got 16.
Panthers.
Dillard's their boy.
Dillard is their boy, but do not be surprised if Brian Burns is the pick. I've seen a lot of Brian Burns, and it makes sense.
Then we got the Giants again. Then you quarterback Daniel Jones. How about that?
Yep, it would be Daniel Jones, and I think
puts the Vikings on the clock.
We're at the Vikings, and I think we're both going to agree on this pick.
Yeah, I mean, you got Bradbury there, Ford's still there, but no one really unexpected, right?
No, that's pretty much it. All the big offensive line tackles are gone. So you're looking at Garrett Bradbury. You're looking at who else?
Cody Ford.
Looking at Cody Ford. I mean,
Greedy Williams.
As much as we love Dalton Reisner or Chris Lindstrom, I think at pick 18 ain't going to happen.
Well,
I think
before we make a pick, so we're on the board. It's Bradbury. It's Ford. How hard would you be trying to shop that pick to move down a little bit to where you're either going to get one of those two or end up with Reisner or Lindstrom?
Oh, I think when the Vikings are on the board, if this is a scenario which it has a really good chance of being where Bradbury's the top guy, I think this pick comes down to the final seconds before we see that Vikings logo. Bling.
Yeah.
So, Vikings fans, I think you should expect a nice long 10-minute wait.
I think so too.
I think they'll be trying very hard.
If you can move down, I mean, this is a situation where they can almost move down twice and still get someone who's going to be a huge help to this team, huge help to this line. So I would work those phones as hard as you can. And what would really help is one of those quarterbacks was still available.
Well, quarterbacks, you got to think. Raiders have been heavily linked to Josh Jacobs, someone going up to get in front of them.
Yeah.
Some teams are going to love Cody Ford. It doesn't appear the Vikings are in love with him.
Doesn't.
They want to get in front of the Texans. There's going to be a lot of guys. Jeffrey Simmons is a hot name in the mid-20s. There's going to be teams that want to get up and get these guys. So I think they're going to have some offers. Personally, yeah. Well, let's just make the pick.
All right, it's going to be Garrett Bradbury.
Garrett Bradbury.
It makes most sense because he can come in, play center. You move Elflein to guard. You're fixing two spots with one pick. I think Bradbury would be an improvement over Elflein's performance last year. And Elflein at left guard would be much better than who was it, Remmers or Compton, whoever the hell was over at left guard last year.
Compiton.
So I think you're really upgrading two spots with one pick. So to me, it's Garrett Bradbury. It's not sexy, but it's the pick the Vikings should make and I think will make.
Yeah, I think we need to get ready for the fact that we will probably take a center. Yeah, I can't see any of those tackles being around. Nobody can.
I don't think so. I'd love it, but yeah. I mean, Williams is the guy I want. I'm not so excited about Dillard, but Jonah Williams is my number one target. Bradbury is probably number two. All right. Will you do me one favor before I give my final advice here before the draft? Will you repeat what you said during the Who'd You Do segment?
I love Peters.
That's what it was.
And before we wrap this up, I want your absolute worst case scenario for tomorrow night for the Minnesota Vikings.
You talking like pick or how the board falls? Or
worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario for me.
Like last year, I know you hated the Mike Hughes pick.
I did.
What is your Mike Hughes pick this year?
To me,
and you can't say Greedy Williams.
It's not. I would actually semi be okay with that. Mine is taking like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I think he's a late riser. He's not even that tall. I mean, to me, that's horrible. I would be very upset with something like that. Most of their picks I'll be fine with, but that would really, really piss me, really chap my ass.
My worst case would be taking
Jerry Tillery.
Any sort of second-tier defensive tackle. Obviously, Ed Oliver, Christian Wilkins would be fantastic. But if we're talking Tillery, Simmons, Dexter Lawrence, I hate everything about that, and I would punch you in the crotch.
Every name you just said I would actually like in the second round.
Yeah, not the first round.
No.
So that's worst case. What is your – I guess this is kind of a given, but what's your best case scenario?
I mean, best case scenario is Jonah Williams falls to 18.
Even if my best case scenario, even if Jonah Williams was on the board, is still for us to trade back. I would still like to get a Lindstrom, Reisner, and then get another second or third round pick. I would be all for that.
I'd be more excited if we had more glaring needs. I mean, whatever. I mean, I think if you get a guy like Jonah Williams, who I think is just going to be a stud, 10-year starter, you take him and you think that your lucky stars that he's there. That is best case scenario for me. How about this? Give me one guy you would take over an offensive lineman if he was there.
One guy over an offensive lineman? Nobody.
Nobody? You wouldn't take like a Hawkinson or Devin White?
If it came down to like a Hawkinson or Jonah Williams,
Hawkinson or Bradbury?
Shit.
This is not who would you do?
I would have to take Hawkinson, and then give up a third to get back up in the second and take Reisner.
I like it.
Done deal.
All right. You got anything else you want to say before the draft?
Happy draft day, and remember, drink as much alcohol as you can to piss your pants.
Try not to step on your dick.
Then do not step on your dick like Sonny Weaver.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Hey, my final draft day advice. Guys, enjoy the draft. Don't do what Lupagus has done so many times in the past and get so drunk that you pass out during it, and you don't even get to see the event you've been waiting for 4 months. Drink hard, but drink in moderation. Have a little something to eat in between. And you know what? Don't do egg bombs. Don't bet picks on the egg bombs. It doesn't pan out well at all.
I think you pissed your pants that year.